yesterday, DeAndre Ayton, one of the top centers in the league. I was saying earlier on First Things First that he almost made my third team All-NBA as a center. Because I went with Rudy Gobert, but I thought long and hard about putting my man DeAndre Ayton in there. 17 points, 10 rebounds a game. You can mark that in to the box score. But Indiana made him a max offer sheet, 4 years, $133 million. And after all of the back and forth, all of the cold shouldering and everything from his team, the Phoenix Suns, at the end of the day, they went ahead and matched the offer. So DeAndre Ayton will be back with the Suns. Can't be traded until January 15th and can veto any trade anywhere for a year. So basically, good for the Suns, but you know what, J-Mac? The real story about this, it essentially takes Phoenix out of the Kevin Durant sweepstakes because they were one of the teams on his wish list. The Suns aren't willing to give up Devin Booker. And so even if it were a 3 or 4 team deal, if they're not parting with DeAndre Ayton or Devin Booker, it's simply not happening. And so now Miami, second team on his wish list, they don't seem to have the pieces to get it done. I've said all along that I feel like he should return to Brooklyn. I feel like Brooklyn should be like, we looked, KD. We didn't find a great offer, so we'll see you in September at training camp. But it seems to be down to Brooklyn staying there, or there is a little momentum. I don't even want to say growing momentum, but there's a little bit of talk about KD returning to the Warriors. Now, I've heard that. I've heard rumblings. Not sure I believe them, but I have started to hear in a few different places that KD would like to go back to the Warriors. So here's what I want to ask you, J-Mac. Do you think it's a bad idea for Kevin Durant to go back to Golden State?
I think bad is putting it lightly, Chris. This is a terrible idea. First of all, I don't think the Warriors would mortgage the farm, giving up, say, Jordan Poole, Wiggins, Kuminga, Wiseman, Moody, which is kind of what the Nets want. But for Durant,
well, remember, they can't give up Wiggins.
Yeah,
because
they would have to
Ben
move
Simmons
Ben Simmons.
is still, and he's got to be untradeable right now because nobody knows. I mean, nobody knows where his head is at.
Yeah.
But let's say, just philosophically, if it can work, because maybe you can work it out with a 3-team deal or something like that, just philosophically, do you like the notion from KD's standpoint of him going back to Golden State?
It's terrible for Kevin Durant. This would be an unmitigated disaster. Chris, you've heard the phrase, you can't go home again, right? Because when you go home, it's never the same. And
LeBron
I know a lot of
went home again.
It was a little different for LeBron because he won the championship.
Other than that one,
he had not won before. Kevin Durant went to Golden State, won 2 titles, was the NBA Finals MVP twice. They were the greatest team in NBA history in 2017. Okay, they went 16-1 in the playoffs. Wow. They vaporized the entire league, Chris. Kevin Durant was the best player in the league, but we got to remember he was 28 years old. And in 2018 when they won it again, he was 29. He was in his prime. KD turns 34 in September, Chris. This is a guy coming off an Achilles injury. He's still a very, very good player.
You seem to be building a case for him to return.
Absolutely not, Chris.
Because if he's not as good as you seem to be saying and he can't carry his own team, why not go get some chips?
This is the phrase, you can't go home again. And I know some people are like, well, his home is not Golden State. And then the counter to that is, well, it certainly isn't OKC. They hate him in OKC. He has been booed in OKC for 5 years.
He's not going back
They burned
there,
his jerseys, right?
Sure.
So this is, and to get philosophical on you, like this is kind of a man with no home. And Kevin Durant is a bit of a wanderer. He is the kind of guy who is searching for something. Going back to his high school days, Kevin Durant, 3 different high schools. He went to 3 different high schools, Chris, like bouncing around. And then he's a Northern Virginia DMV kind of guy. I'm from that area as well.
Look at you with the psychoanalysis.
Well, again, Chris, out of the blue, he goes to Texas. And he was very good there.
Wow.
No, I mean, maybe he's trying a new thing. Let me get out of the area, go to Texas. And then he comes to the NBA, OKC. Then he leaves for Golden State. I advocated that move. Then he goes to Brooklyn. Now he wants out again. Like, what is he searching for? And Chris, I just say, there's a better chance that things go awry for KD on his return to Golden State because they're not going to be as good. They just aren't. He's very good, but everybody's older.
If he went there they would be the definitive favorites.
I mean,
to win the
I think they're already up there with the Clippers in the West.
They're all right. They're up there, and let's even call them the favorite, but it's close, right? Clippers.
Listen, the West
Bucks,
is loaded. Denver Nuggets are going to be very good.
With KD,
but Chris, again,
they don't become the definitive favorite.
What does being the favorite mean? That doesn't mean anything. They would have to win. I think there's so much
pressure. Here's what it means. If Kevin Durant returns to Golden State, they are the best team in the NBA.
Chris.
That's what it means.
Okay, on paper, yes. So what is that worth? Okay, let's look in the locker room. What happened at the end? KD kind of said, I'm out of here.
First of all,
he feuded
cool
with Draymond Green. Of course he's cool with it. Yes, but guess what? It's cool to be friends on social media and doing podcasts, and when you see him in the club. It's another thing to be part of an 82-game season and a 20-game playoff run and be in the locker room with them all the time. We remember it got ugly with Draymond Green and Kevin Durant.
It ain't ugly now. Draymond's on his podcast dropping all this revisionist history. Hey, we loved him in the organization. It was you guys out there, the media, that didn't appreciate him when it was. I'm not saying they didn't like, because they recognized his greatness within the Warriors organization, but so did the media. It was the media naming him the Finals MVP when, especially the second year, you could have justified giving it to Steph, even though KD was the best. It was the media, like you just said, saying he was the best player in the world. That's revisionist history. Oh, we couldn't have beat the Cavs in 17 and 18 without KD. I think that's revisionist history. I think they could have beaten them in 17.
Wow.
And so Draymond is doing this, J-Mac, to make way for if KD somehow decides he wants to return, it's all good. Steph, we'll get to this later, but there are reports about him reaching out to KD. I mean, there was a report that all three of the stars, including Klay, had talked to KD. I'm just saying, I tend to agree with you that it's not a great idea for Kevin Durant, but for different reasons. I don't think he's washed I don't think you think he's washed.
No.
But you certainly paint the picture like, now he's 34. I think
coming
he's
off the injuries, Chris.
He's as good as he used to be.
No, absolutely not. Chris, time out, Chris.
Why isn't he as good? Because he couldn't carry a team? When has he ever carried a team to a championship?
In the 2017 playoffs, Kevin Durant averaged, are you ready for this? 55% shooting, 44% from three, 89% from the foul line, 28 points, was the Finals MVP.
J-Mac.
He got outplayed head-to-head in the first round by Jason Tatum this year, period. He got outplayed by Jason Tatum head-to-head.
Let me share with you why, and he did. But first of all, it's easier to play high-level basketball when you are surrounded by stars. And that's what people don't understand when they give all this. KD has so much pressure on him, in the finals in 2017. Yes, he had pressure because everybody hated him. Not everybody, but, people looked at him negatively because he went to Golden State, a 73-win team that had just dropped him in the conference finals. That was the pressure, but he had gotten over that. He got over that when he decided to go there. He said, I can handle it. And he played great all year, and he was great in the finals. But on the court, when you have the opponent double teaming a teammate, Steph Curry, when you have Klay Thompson, another guy they have to worry about, it's easier for you to do your thing. So KD was great. I'm not taking anything from him. But let's not act like he had to carry a team by himself like he was asked to do in Brooklyn.
Whoa.
Kyrie was great in game one, didn't do much in the last three. He was okay. Their offense was give it to Kevin, give it to Kyrie, and let's watch them go one-on-one. Maybe we'll set a pick. Other than that, do your thing, guys. Whereas in Golden State, a lot of ball movement, a lot of player movement, more sophisticated, better scheming. So that is why look, Kevin, if you want to bring up the injuries, that's fair.
Chris, time out. Injuries.
Don't tell me Kevin Durant is not as good as he was
Kevin Durant,
in 2017.
He's absolutely not. He's played 80 I'm sorry, 90
Right, the
games.
injuries is
Hold
fair.
on. He's
In
played
3 years.
90 games in 3 years. He is not the same player. And
Well,
Chris, to your point, hold on, to your point, in 2017, the Warriors did have stars. Klay Thompson was a star. Draymond Green was a star. They are not. They were down 2-1 in the finals. Klay Thompson was being discussed as washed because he was playing poorly. Draymond Green was
averaged the same amount of points in the playoffs.
He's not even close to the same player. Do not play that
but
card.
I think he will be when he comes back.
Maybe if they get Kevin Durant. However, Draymond Green was essentially benched down the stretch in a pivotal game by Steve Kerr. It was a genius move. So these guys aren't the same Warriors where you're going to have to double Klay and focus on Steph. And it's a different story,
you're not
man.
have to focus on Steph?
5 years later, Chris.
Okay,
we're 5 years removed from that incredible team in 2017.
J-Mac, again, I agree with you. It's not the best idea in the world for KD. But I don't like your reasoning. This team that you seem to be poo-pooing.
I'm not poo-pooing. They just won the title.
Not what he used to be. Dre's not what he used to be. Yeah, they just won the title without Kevin Durant. And you're going to tell me that adding Kevin Durant, they're not going to be as good?
Again, you got to look.
They will be the definitive favorite. But
hold on, wait, let me ask quick. Who was the second best person on the Warriors in the finals? This should be easy.
Wiggins.
Okay, and in any deal to make salaries match, Wiggins has to be moved. I don't know if a third team is
Wiggins
involved.
Can't go.
A third team could easily be involved. Indiana could absorb. They have a ton of cap room. Utah's about to get cap room because of Mitchell. Simmons would easily be moved. If you remove Wiggins, who was the second best player on the Warriors, he was incredible defensively against Tatum. He came through offensively. Like, Kevin Durant is going to have to fill that role, and I know he's better than Andrew Wiggins.
Well, he's not going to be a defender.
Well, okay, then who's defending on this team? Because Klay is not a defender. He's not anymore.
We'll see.
He's not great. This is not a knock on Klay. This is reality, man.
We'll see, J-Mac. He was coming off a major injury, and he's dropped into the most important games of the season. Can we give him a minute to get back together?
I know. His dad was trying to kill me over text message. I get it.
Well, right. Let's see what he does. I'm not saying he'll ever be as good as he was as a defender, but can he be good? Yeah. I think he will be a good defender. And if you've noticed, over this run for the Warriors, these last 6 years, everybody, when they go to Golden State, they play better because their role is defined. The offensive system is player friendly if you want to hustle and move. And so I'm not certain, but I do think a young guy, like if you have Kevin Durant, I can say bye to Jordan Poole as much as I like him.
I'm not losing Jordan Poole
As much as I like Jordan Poole, I would have Steph, KD, and Klay as big-time scorers. And then I think a Kuminga can step in as maybe that defensive player.
Who are you giving away for Kevin Durant? Give me this deal if you're keeping Kuminga and Wiggins. What's going on here?
If I have to give up Wiggins and Poole, then I can say, yeah, I'm keeping one of the young boys. Now, I would love to do it without Wiggins. I'm with you on how great he was.
Okay, time out. Chris, you're saying Wiggins and Poole. So they rejected a Suns deal for Ayton and Bridges, and you think they're doing Wiggins and Poole? You got to give up way more than that. They're going to want Wiggins, Wiseman, Kuminga, Poole. They're going to want all that. And the Warriors should say, no way.
Yes, Wiseman would be a part of it. If I had to give up Wiggins, Poole, and Wiseman, and maybe Moody, that's it.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
All right, but that's not the issue. The point is it right for KD?
No.
All right, and here's my point. You're saying it's honestly,
it's a terrible move for KD.
I think you're making an argument why it would be good for him.
No, it's a terrible move.
Well, let me finish. All right, I'll listen to your 3, 4, 5 minute soliloquy. Can I say something?
Go ahead.
All right. You are saying KD's not as good as he used to be. The Warriors aren't as good as they used to be. It wouldn't be laid out on a platter for them. You know, they wouldn't be like 17 and 18 where it's automatic. Those seem to be reasons where KD will go. I'm 34. I've only played 90 games my last 3 years. I can't carry a team. Let me go somewhere where we can all work together and it's not just me. Argument for Golden State. It's not laid out on a silver platter. It wouldn't be easy to win it. Argument for returning to Golden State. My reasoning is this, J-Mac. If Kevin Durant goes back to Golden State, he'll forever be known as a Robin. He will. Because they have proven that they can win it not once, but twice without him. Okay? It is Steph's team. And so, look, KD, by his own admission, he can get mad. By his own admission, GQ magazine, he said when he first joined the Warriors, he's not a leader. All right? He can go there and not have to be the leader. He can just hoop, to use his word. All right? But it will always be known as Steph's team. Now, here's the upside. If they win another championship, which I definitely think they'd win one more, maybe two. If they win multiple rings, Kevin Durant will also go down as part of one of the greatest duos in NBA history. You got Jordan Pippen, you got Shaq Kobe, you got Kareem Magic. You'll have Steph KD, winners of 3-4 rings together. And that is, and it won't be the gap between Jordan Pippen. It'll be more like Shaq Kobe. And KD may win more of those finals MVPs. So if he has kind of come to the self-revelation of, you know what? I don't want to lead a team. I just want to hoop. I'm fine going in there. It's Steph's team. And people going to criticize me. So what? I don't care. I just want to be happy. If he has come to that realization, then he could go back there. But he'd have to understand, I'm going to be recognized as an all-time great, but a number 2.
You can't be a Robin if you have 2 Finals MVPs and an NBA MVP, Chris. That doesn't add up.
Sure you can.
No, you can't.
Sure, why not? Why not?
You were a Finals MVP twice and the MVP of the league. You were an alpha.
He was MVP of the league ages ago.
Yeah.
You were the one talking about 2017.
He was MVP. You're talking about his career. Remember, this is a Kevin Durant who went on Twitter this week and said,
but he never
what did you do for your legacy today?
He never won as the leader of a team.
What about Golden State?
He was the best player, but he wasn't the leader of that team.
How do you quantify leader?
You either set the culture like a Tim Duncan did in San Antonio, like a Steph Curry does in Golden State. Hold on. You asked me a question. Let me answer.
I know.
Or you are a vocal leader. You get everybody going. You solve the issues and challenges that the team is facing. They look to you for advice or as an example. Did they do any of that with Kevin Durant? Yeah, he played great. But he wasn't setting any tone. He stepped into the tone.
By that measure, whoever is drafted by that team is the leader, right?
No.
Who was the Miami Heat leader when LeBron went there with Chris Bosh?
Initially, it was Dwayne Wade.
Okay, there you go.